But my name is Courtney Williams. I am a triple diamond with the business, and I joined 3 years ago when I was a college student. And so, um, really, the reason that I joined was because I was a broke college student who, a lot of people are a broke college student, but I was a broke college student who didn't want to go into tons of debt and feel that like drowning factor of that. Instead, I wanted to like pay for college in cash while I go through college and like do all those things. But and that was my plan all along. I saved up all through high school. I thought I was good. I had a really good savings account built. But once I went through my freshman year of high school or of college, it was all gone because of how expensive it is. And so I literally would sit at my part-time job in college and add up on a calculator how much money I was going to make from my job, how much money I would make from babysitting, from my summer job, everything. And I still didn't have enough to pay for my next semester of college, just the next semester. And so that really stressed me out. And so I wanted something more. I wanted something where I didn't have to feel like I was drowning or, trying to keep my head above water. And so I really was looking for for me, and a lot of people can probably relate with this. When you first joined, it was really like, honestly, anything extra will help. Obviously we joined and we want like $500 a month or $1,000 a month or whatever. But at some point we're kind of like, okay, honestly, an extra $100 a month would pay this bill, or it would help me with this, or an extra $200 would do this for me. And so that was me. I didn't even join for $500. I joined for $200 a month, hoping that I could make that much. And that would help me so much, just going towards something to help me save up for college. And so that's really why I joined. And I was able to reach that $200 a month within my first probably 30 days in the business. And after that, I just kept building that income, you guys. And in my first summer, I made more than I would have at my part-time job in college in a whole year at college in that first summer that I was working this business, because of fast starts. So if you don't know what that is, ask your upline, what are fast starts? How can I do that? Because that's how I did that. There are weekly bonuses that we talk about, but I just kept working my business, you guys. I kept, I had a crazy busy schedule, but I just made sure that, I was excited. So anytime that I had 5 minutes before class started, or, even during class, or like if I had a sorority meeting in 30 minutes, I made sure to get stuff done in that 30 minutes before I had to go to that, to make sure that I was being productive and using my time wisely and just fitting it into those pockets of my day. And that built me to being able to earn a full-time income by the time I even graduated college. So I was a junior in college when I was already making a full-time income with this business. I was a double diamond. And then I graduated college and I got to say no to grad school because of this business and decided to do this full-time. And then I went triple diamond right after that. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. But I kind of wanted to, first of all, let you guys get to know me a little bit in my story, but I also want to teach you guys how to tell your story too. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat so that I can make sure to answer them and hit on whatever you guys have questions on, as far as like storytelling and whatnot. But basically, how to tell your story as a newbie. And honestly, I say it's as a newbie, but really this is how I tell my story too. And you can even go like look on my page, scroll through like other leaders' posts, and you'll find that it's kind of the same pattern too when we tell our story about ourselves and the business and what it's been for us. So the first thing I always say is explain. First of all, you can explain who you are. So for me, you'll see that I say, hey y'all, my name's Courtney, blah, blah, blah. Like I'll kind of explain who I am. I am a college graduate. I'm 22 years old. I am a fiance. All those things kind of that tells a little bit about me. And then the first step is to tell why you joined. So what made you join the business? Because that's already part of your story. So if you just joined yesterday and you feel like, well, I don't have a story yet because I just joined, you already have a story because you have a reason that you joined, right? You had a reason that made you want to say yes to this business. And so what is that reason? Think about that, write it out, and kind of think of this as sections. So the first section is going to be, why did you join? So for me, I'm going to say, the first part that I did, who I am. And then I'm going to say, pretending that I just joined the business, I would have said something like, I, was feeling so stressed out and overwhelmed. Say feeling. So how did you feel that made you want to join this business? So I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. I was a broke college student. I was, living paycheck to paycheck. draining my savings account, like all those things that were happening. And I decided to join this business because, just looking for a couple extra $100 a month to help me out with some things. So that's kind of the reason that I joined. That was the situation that I was in that made me want to join. So that's the first step, why you joined. The second step is, what has it done for you so far? And if you just joined yesterday, this might be a little bit different for you. But it can even be, if you just joined yesterday, it could be even things like, this business has already helped me, gain more confidence and help me know that I can have more in life and I'm going to be able to reach my goals. Something like that. Like if it's built anything for you. So it can be friendships, it can be confidence, it can be just like the matter of having hope, things like that. And so you can say that, or you can say, I've already been able to, pay for groceries every month with this business because of the income I'm making with it. I've already been able to do this or that. What are some things that you've been able to do so far? It can be attached to money or not attached to money. So that's the second step. And then the third step would be, what are your goals? So this is where you would say, I've already been able to do this, and I'm going to be able to, pay off my car, or I'm going to be able to cover my entire car payment with this business, or I'm going to be able to put my kid in dance because of the extra money in this business. Different things that you want to be able to do, your dream board, the reasons that you're in this business, your goals, shout them out, because people want to follow somebody and join somebody that's going somewhere, right? And so if you don't say that you're going anywhere, you're just kind of complacent and you're stuck here and you're good with what you have, which is not a bad thing. But if you're just here, people don't want to join somebody like that. They want to join somebody who's going somewhere and doing something, and they want to come along with you. So shout out those things that you're going to be able to do. Plus it pours belief into them and into yourself by shouting out those goals, saying that you're going to do it. And then once you do it, people are like, oh my gosh, like I remember talking about how we were going to buy our first home at 22 years and 23 years old. My fiance is 24 years old. And then once we did it and we, made the post about we just bought a house, everybody like literally was so amazed because I shouted it out and then I made it happen. And that's just so much belief that's attached to that. So that's the third step. And then at the end, you always want to do a call to action. So if you're interested in earning extra income, comment or message me the word opportunity for more info. Something like that does a call to action, because if you're just making posts that say something, but it doesn't call them to message you or to comment below or anything for you to get in contact with them, you're kind of just waiting, right? You're waiting for people to just automatically get the urge to message you. But when you do that, people will drop the word opportunity or they'll message you the word opportunity, and then that starts your conversation about the business. So that is basically it. Just make sure you're showing your excitement. Make sure your pictures are crisp and clear and inviting. Make sure your pictures are of you. So you can post pictures of like your hand holding your mug and whatever for like your coffee post. But when you're making pictures about you joining the business and things like that, people have to see you to be able to be like, oh, I want to join her team, because they're not going to see a picture of some random thing in your house with this post. If they don't see your face, they're not going to have the attachment to actually want to talk to you and join your team, because they're not going to feel that connection that they would if they saw your face. So post pictures of your face. Your family can be in them, your kids can be in them, but make sure it's you to show you, and make sure you're excited about it. People can feel your excitement. So then the next thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit is how to make stories. So like story slides. So the easiest way to think about it is like if you just wrote your story that would go into a post from the steps that I just gave you, break that post down into like little snippets and put that into story slides. So the two apps that I like to use are called the Over app, and the other one is called Unfold. Those are like the simple, easiest ones for anybody to use. So even if you're a newbie, start simple and then you can get more creative. So you might see these people making like these like amazing, like all these layovers and all of these stickers and all of these things on them. If you don't know how to do that yet, that's okay. Make them simple and then you'll learn those as you go, but it's better just to start now with simple instead of, oh my gosh, I don't know how to make a story just like that girl did, so I'm not going to do it. Start simple, you'll learn your way through it. And I actually have a training about how to use the Over app as well. And I'll kind of show you a little bit too. But Over app and Unfold app, and use pictures of you again, but then use snippets of that story. So for example, let's go to the Unfold app because thanks Shanice for putting that in the comments. I will show you guys an example that I already have on here. Okay, so this is a good example. So on the Unfold app, I'll kind of show you how to use it too, but I'm going to show you these first. So this is just kind of my story in a nutshell. So it just has pictures of me, and whenever you want to add a new slide, you're going to press the plus button, and then it will come up and you can put a new story in there. But it says, hey y'all, I'm Courtney. I give the little things about me, 22 years old, fiance, blah, blah, blah. The next one is saying, before I joined, I was a broke college student, blah, 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 blah. I'm just breaking that post up into stories. And I'll tell you that all of my stories are probably from posts at some point that I took them and I did different paragraphs on different sides of the story to make up this full story side. And then there's my call to action, swipe up opportunity for info. So that is my story just in a nutshell. Those different paragraphs from my story post put into my story slides. So kind of to give a super quick rundown, you're going to press the plus button at the bottom, click create story, and then it has all of these different things. Some of them are free, some of them you have to buy. So if you don't want to buy them, make sure to choose the free ones. Let me go to one that I have. I don't have them all. There's like so many now. Okay, so I chose this template. So what I can do is put in 2 pictures. So here's my 2 pictures that I put in. And then I'm going to click this little writer tool, and then I can put a text box in there. And then I can put my wording, and I can move my wording over here or whatever I want. So you can kind of make the story. So these are super simple because literally you pick a template, you pop the photos in, and you put your words on it, and then you make the next slide. So Unfold app is probably the best place to start when you're making stories because it is so dang simple. And honestly, I love using it still to this day because it's so simple and I don't have to take a ton of time to do it, but it still looks fresh and clean and uniform and just really good together. So that's kind of that. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Like I said, I have a training on the Over app that y'all can watch on YouTube if you want. But basically, that's all that I wanted to kind of go over, just teaching y'all how to tell your story, how to make those story slides. I'll kind of show you a little bit of the Over app just to kind of give you a little bit of info on that. So on the Over app, you would click here, and then you can even pick layouts on Over app. So it'd be super simple to do that. And then put in your picture, put in your wording, and then make your story. So like my first one, oh, these are so cool. You guys, I didn't even know this. They already have like every slide out for you. So all you have to do is literally plug in your pictures and your words. And I'm definitely going to make a story tonight because I'm going to use this that I didn't know was there. But it's super fun just to play around with. And I cannot tell you, and you can do these for coffee slides, that goes for anything, just kind of snippeting through. So take like a coffee post that you might have made that says, oh my gosh, y'all, I'm drinking my skinny coffee. It tastes so good, like a blah, 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 blah. And then you say the benefits of it that say like burns fat, curbs your appetite, curbs your cravings. And then you're going to say like, it's currently on BOGO, message me BOGO for info. So you would just make that into story slides. Like the first one would probably be the, I'm drinking my skinny coffee. I love it so much. I've drank it for the past blank amount of time. And then the second one's going to be it burns fat, curbs your appetite, curbs your cravings, all of that kind of good stuff. It's going to have all of those on that next slide. And then the next slide would be talking about how it's BOGO right now. You can get this much for this, blah, blah, blah. And then the last slide would be swipe up BOGO for info on the BOGO coffee, something like that. So this goes for all slides. But like I said, start simple and just do it. And as you do it, you'll kind of learn your way through that. If y'all have any questions, put them in. That's basically all I wanted to say, unless y'all have any questions or want me to go in depth about anything. But kind of short and sweet. I didn't want to make it too complicated because it's really not complicated. It's really super simple. Just following those steps about telling your story, plugging them into those stories or those, story slides, and then, posting those stories. Now, I like to reuse my stories too, you guys. So I'll even go back to stories that I made a year ago or 6 months ago or, even 2 weeks ago, and I will reuse those stories, or even use some that other leaders make too. So use those resources, but also make your own, because there's something so powerful about making your own, especially when they have your own picture in them. People connect with that, you guys. So make sure you're putting your story into your post and then your story into your story slides too. But if y'all don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. This was super sweet and simple. I love it. If y'all just hopped on, you can catch the